Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 4 and our title is Audit Oversight Board. My name is Akid Daniel bin Muhammad Anwar. My student ID is 2020957007 and I'm going to present about introduction and roles in Audit Oversight Board. Introduction. The Audit Oversight Board is established under Part 3A of the Securities Commission Act Malaysia 1993, which came into force on 1 April 2010 to promote and develop an effective audit oversight framework and to promote confidence in the quality and reliability of audited financial statement in Malaysia. Roles in AOB. Standard setting AOB has the power to direct the Malaysian Institute of Accountants to establish, adopt, amend, modify, alter, or by any common ways the auditing and ethical standards to be applied by registered auditors. Second, registration auditors of public interest entities must register and recognized by AOB to ensure the auditing process is fit and proper. It is an offence for non-registration. Third, sanctions. AOB has the power to impose appropriate sanctions against registered auditors who fail to comply with auditing and ethical standards. Inspection. The registered audit firm and auditor will be subject to inspection by the AOB to assess the degree of compliance with the auditing and ethical standards by the auditor and the quality of the audit reports prepared by the auditor relating to the audited financial statements of the PIEs. And the last one is inquiry. Inquiry, on the other hand, empowers AOB to conduct an inquiry if there is a reason to believe that any auditor has contravened any provision of Part 3A of the SCA, any condition imposed under Section 3104 of the SCA, or any written notice or guidelines issued by the SC.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Iskandar and my student ID is 2020384891. I will start with the first issue, which is the effect on audit quality after establishment of AOB, and I also attached the picture of the article. D'Angelo defined audit quality as having twin dimension of the probability that the auditor are competent to be able to detect material misstatement and having detected the misstatement are willing to report it. That is upholding auditor independence. In Malaysia, audit must be performed according to the prescribed minimum quality level found in the auditing standard approved by the Malaysian Institute of Accountants (MIA), and any departure of non-compliance with approved accounting standard may result in substandard audit, and non-compliance with approved auditing standard must be justified. The quality of external audit is monitored by the professionals such as peer review, which create a self-regulating. However, on 1st April 2010, an additional layer of regulation of the external audit was created since the establishment of AOB under the Security Commission Amended Act 2010. The limitation and issue arise when the auditor do not exercise professional skepticism at the level as expected by the AOB, while the ineffectiveness of monitoring quality control, resource constraint, and retention issue in documentation. Lastly, the audit firm in Malaysia are still weak and insufficient in carry out the engagement. There was a slight improvement in audit quality between pre and post establishment of AOB that may be due to revised Code of Corporate Governance 2012. The audit committee should ensure financial statements comply with applicable financial report standard and have policy and procedure to assess the sustainability and independence of external audit under Principle 5 of uphold integrity of financial reporting. As a result, under the new revised Code of Corporate Governance, the audit committee is expected to put more effort to discuss with the auditor in anticipation of being the target of AOB for inspection.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zuhilmi bin Muhammad Zaidi. My student ID 20209500305. Now, let's go to my part. Issue 2. Implication of the Audit Oversight Board External Auditor Perspective. How the issue started. The AOB has an impact on the work of external auditors, especially in the term of the documentation and the training expenses, which float among audit firms of the various size. According to some, the increasing on the demand on the external auditor is related not just to the AOB's founding, but also the changed accounting standard and other rules. Next, what is the impact of the explanation of the AOB on the external auditors? First is the quality of the audit works. Second is the workload and the documentation. And the last one is the relationship with the internal auditors. When it comes to the audit approach and conclusion, sometimes people are more meticulous and careful with the AOB. As the result, audit firms seek to verify that their work is of a specific quality or is progressing in the direction of the quality required by the standard and the code of ethics, especially now that they can have an AOB to monitor their works. After the AOB is established, extra paper and the administration must be complete. Compliance work is becoming increasingly important. The expenses of the training has also grown. The relationship with the internal auditor is unchanged. They evaluate their work in according with ISA. If EA rely on the IA works, AOB has no impact on the number of meetings that must be held with IA.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amizwan Bizakwan. My student ID is 2020160229. My issue 3 is Does Audit Oversight Boards Matter for Governance? Malaysia has introduced AOB on 1st April 2010 through the Securities Commission Amendment Act 2010. AOB is an independent oversight mechanism which regulates and oversees the performance of audit delivery processes and procedures taken by the auditors of public interest entities such as Malaysian listed firms. Characteristics also influence on how managers, board of directors and external governance mechanism govern listed firms in Malaysia. The establishment of AOB in Malaysia is seen to be an effective monitoring mechanism and promotes confidence in the quality and reliability for audited financial statement. Thus, this study predicts that there is a negative relation between AOB and one type of managerial misconduct, real earning management activity. The characteristic might influence on how managers, board of directors and external governance mechanism govern listed firm in Malaysia. The impact of AOB on earnings management via discretionary accounting accruals. The sample of the study consisted of 50 companies from Bursa Malaysia for 4 years on 2008, 2009, 2011 and 2012. They found that level of discretionary accruals reduces following the establishment and inspection of the AOB in Malaysia. However, the result on the association between the AOB and discretionary accruals was insignificant and firm categorized into 3 based on their block holdings. First, government-owned companies, GLC. Second, family-owned companies. And third, foreign-owned companies. This study has used 3 proxies to measure real earnings management, and the first one using abnormal cash flow from operation RCFO. Second is abnormal production cost RPC, and the last one abnormal discretionary expenses RDE. AOB has a significant and negative relationship with real earnings management. The result, however, show that AOB only has a significant and negative relation to the RCFO of GLCs. Overall, the findings suggest that AOB may not be enough to limit REM activities in Malaysian setting. This study also provides evidence that AOB is more effective in limiting RCFO in government-owned companies. One major limitation of this study is that it only examines Malaysian top 100 firms listed on Bursa Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
For conclusion, increase in documentation and cost was not solely due to the establishment of AOB, but may also due to the revised accounting and auditing standards in recent years. The updated Code of Corporate Governance 2012 may have contributed to a minor improvement in audit quality since the establishment of AOB. The results show that the degree of REM activities reduces after the introduction of the AOB. That's all from us. Thank you.